So in the third chapter, Bhagavan had explained the path of Karma Yoga, that we have to perform our duties dedicated to the Supreme Lord. In this chapter, he revealed his own nature, that though unborn, he appears to take birth, and though not acting, appears to be acting. So one who recognizes Bhagavan's divine birth and divine action will also become free. Recognizing God is like recognizing our own self. When we come to know the self is unborn and the self is not a doer, we will become free from all bondage. In order to help us recognize this truth, we have to first follow the path of Karma Yoga, and in order to make it clear what exactly should be our duties, this concept of 4 varnas were also revealed. So by studying our own nature, how much of sattva gun, rajogun, tamogun we have, we will be able to understand what are the proportion of the 4 varnas within us, and based on them we have to perform action. Or in short, whatever profession or whatever station in which we are there in this life, we have to perform action suitable to all these 4 personality. So we have to spend some time acquiring knowledge and gaining proper values in life. We should also have the ability to face various difficulties in life, develop courage and capacity to integrate with the world and work for the development of this world. Also, we should have that motivation to be more creative in life and spend some time in serving the world. So all the 4 personalities within us will feel totally satisfied. And when we perform this action dedicated to God, slowly and steadily our mind will become pure and we will be able to realize our own self. Therefore Bhagavan says, Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha iti mam yobhi janati karma bhir nasa badhyate. That I don't have any attachment to the results of action, and the karmas don't taint me because I don't have the sense of doership. So one who develops this attitude while working slowly and steadily, that person also will become free from all bondage of action. And this, Bhagavan says, is the path which was adopted by seekers in the past, and therefore, hey Arjuna, you also follow this path. So this path of Karma Yoga is again indicated to be followed by Arjuna in the 15th shloka. So let us chant. Evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi Kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam purvai purvataram kritam evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam purvai purvataram kritam. Purvairapi mumukshuvihi. In the past, in the good old years also, seekers who sought freedom, liberation from all bondage. Actually, the identification with our body, mind, intellect itself is a bondage. It's like we are that like space all pervading. It is as though we are confined within a small area. Just imagine the space all pervading, feels that it is a little pot. It will be so restricted. In the same way, we are restricted within this body, mind, intellect, our own limited personality. And there is a thirst within us to be free of all this. Unconscious urge is there to be free. It expresses first in the various desires also. Even the desires which we have, if you analyze them, they are desired to be free of sorrow, free of pain. Therefore, we desire happiness, we desire satisfaction, because we want freedom from all sorrows and pain and limitation. So, seekers of the past, they followed this path of karma yoga, evam nyatva, having understood thus, having understood what? That having the attitude that I, the self, is not the doer, and I, the self, do not have anything to gain from the results of action. Without having attachment to the results of action and without having the sense of doership in the self, the continued performing action, slowly and steadily dedicating it to the supreme reality. So, evam nyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi. In the beginning itself, we might not experience ourselves to be free, but we can keep this attitude in mind that the self, the pure consciousness, is not a doer and it has got nothing to gain from the objects of this world. So, when a person performs action in this way, slowly and steadily the mind starts becoming more and more pure, gains knowledge, and then becomes free. Therefore, Bhagavan tells Arjuna, Kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam. In the same way, you also perform these actions. So again he is telling him to follow the path of karma yoga. You also perform this action with this attitude as it was done by the past seekers. Purvaihi purvataram kritam. So it is not a new path which Bhagavan is revealing here. It's the same ancient path. It's a way of life with a particular attitude. If we keep living in that way, slowly and steadily we'll become free of all bondage. Pujya Gurudev used to give example of that balloon which is filled with gas. It wants to rise up, but then we tie it with a thread and all. Sometimes we give it a longer thread to fly high. But ultimately we have to release it from all bondage. Then the balloon starts flying higher and higher. And as it goes high, it starts expanding because the air within wants to come out. It starts expanding. The pressure is less as it goes up. And when it reaches a very great height, suddenly it bursts. And the air within and outside becomes one. And that balloon, the outer skin, falls down. Similarly, as we follow this path of karma yoga, slowly and steadily, all the bondages, all the attachments, all our identification becomes thinner and thinner, and one fine day it bursts. Not that we die, but it bursts, all identification goes away, and we come to recognize that the self in me is the self in all. So, Kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam. Therefore, hey Arjuna, you also follow this path. Is the best. Purvaye purvataram kritam. Now Arjuna looked at Bhagavan Krishna and he said, why you are giving the example of this past, of those seekers in the past? You directly, when you have told me to follow this path, I will follow. Why should we take example from the past? Bhagavan now says that this we have to take example and we have to take support of other seekers because this path is very, very difficult to comprehend because the karmas are very difficult to comprehend. We have to understand exactly what is the meaning of karma, akarma and all. So that is what Bhagavan now reveals the secret of karma. That what exactly we mean by the term karma, and what we mean by the term that self is not the doer. So he is revealing in the following verses. So let us chant 16th verse. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami yajñatva mokshase shubhat. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami yajñatva mokshase shubha. Bhagavan says, regarding this karma, we have to understand exactly what we mean by karma and what we mean by akarma. Kim karma, kim akarma. Akarma means non-action. He says, what is so difficult to comprehend? He says, it's not so simple. Kavayaha api atra mohitaha. Great wise people also find it difficult to comprehend this. Exactly what we mean by action and what we mean by non-action. And one more term Bhagavan will explain what we mean by vikarma. Vikarma means that which has to be avoided. So even wise people find it very difficult to comprehend. See, it is easier sometimes to comprehend the nature of that supreme reality, but to understand karma is more difficult. A lot of complexities are involved. When an action happens, exactly how it happens, what is the mechanism behind it, who is the actual doer, it's very difficult. Even in the world, when some crime or something happens, to find out exactly who is responsible is very difficult. So we catch hold of someone and make him responsible and put him in jail. Tell him that you are a responsible person. But exactly who is responsible is very difficult to comprehend. Anything happening in the world, maybe each one of us have some part in it, some share. So Bhagavan says it is necessary to comprehend what exactly we mean by action, we mean by non-action, we mean by action which has to be avoided, because even wise people find it difficult to comprehend. So I will have to explain you, and we have to take support of those people from the past. So kavayaha api atra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami. Therefore I will explain to you the secret, the essence of karma. And what will I gain by knowing this karma? He says, yad jnatva mokshase ashubhat. Having recognized this, you will become free. Having understood the secret of action, you will become free. Because when you understand the secret of action, you will understand the secret of your own self. Like any action, like in our body also, so many kriyas keep on happening.